Hey, here's some review. Everything that is a rule-driven function, okay, is a program in memory, okay? That's why first law nations, which are Indian nations, operate on one rule in nature, okay, which is love is the law, which is a frequency. It's a high frequency, high density consciousness where you're experiencing no time. Okay? So for example, you see over here, it's a four-way. Everybody's following a set of rules. Stop, go, turn right, turn left. Everything that you're supposed to do is being recorded in memory on what you're supposed to do based on a function. And that function is to run the program. So the programmers put this in because they don't think that you're intelligent enough to run your own simulation. Because if you're running on a love frequency and you have deep, enormous empathy in your neurotransmitters, I don't need a stop sign to know that using logic, and I come to a four-way, I probably ought to come to a slow stop to make sure that it's safe to go, because there could be some other beings traveling along the road in the other direction. And I don't want to run into them, do I? No, I don't. Why is that? Because I don't want to cause anybody any pain or suffering. And if I run into somebody, I might cause that. I don't want to cause that, because then I'm going to experience the result of what I did in somebody else, and I don't want to do that. So I know ahead of time what's going to happen, don't I? That's right, I do. That's because we have a built-in looking glass. Okay? We know the result of the action before we do it. So when everything is rule-driven, okay, you see how that works. You're running a memory-driven program. So when you apply all the rules that start in childhood, that start in a classroom, you must obey. These are the rules that you must obey. You must obey the rules of language and grammar. You must obey all the rules in the spelling. You must obey all the rules in the classroom. Okay? So when you translate that and carry that forward, remember, you carry it forward mathematically in a computer program. You carry it forward. What is the forward function? Okay, that's like a text editor in a computer program. No different than the chromosomes when you look into the chromosomes. Okay, what is the function? Okay, no different than what is the function of this particular information or data that is held in chromosome 17, chromosome 21. What is the function of the data, which are really light codes? So what you begin to realize is that you're not running essentially your own story. You're running a rule-driven function that is programmed by programmers in order for you to obey the system that you're in, which is an operating system. So you're running their reality because their state of consciousness is rule-driven. It's much like I was reading a thing by Anna von Reitz this morning of an email that she sent when she was having a discussion with a law enforcement officer about the difference between statutory law, okay, the difference between a person and people, the difference between a man and a person. What is a corporation? Well, this is actually real simple. She, in the email that I was sent, actually provided for the law enforcement officer the particular Dred Scott case in which all men are held independent to the law, okay, except what is prescribed by nature, which means nature is the law. And the law in nature is what the first law nations are, which are the Indians that are here, because we're the peacekeepers, the healers, and the teachers here. And the law that's established here, that is enforced by the clan mothers, okay, is love is the law. That's simple. That's what created the cosmos. Okay? So that's pretty simple and straightforward. That's where they wear black robes. That's a black hole. That's darkness. That's lack of knowledge, which is lack of light. So they run statutory laws because That's corporate. That's private. That's not nature. So they don't recognize living spirit, which is what we are. They're not even supposed to have any business with us. They're dead, we're alive. They're not living spirit, we are. We're the ones who enforce the law because we enforce peace. Okay? So when we talk about a public police officer or a corporate police officer is a business. It's a guy wearing a uniform who's an employee of a corporation that doesn't have anything to do with a First Law Indian who's living spirit. We're the law because we run a love vibration. We're in compliance with nature, which is love is the law. That's what a First Law nation is. They're not in compliance with love is the law on this planet. That's why the tribes and the clans are the highest authority here. They're not. That's considered, as my clan mother said, Karen Ann Malouk McDonald, they're a lower realm. They're primitives. They haven't grown up yet. They still need a rule book. And that's right, isn't it true? All you got to do is observe how they behave. Look how reckless they are. Look what they do to the planet. They don't have any regard for natural law or love is the law. They do whatever they think they can do without any regard for anybody. Why do you think the air is so fucked up? The water's so polluted. The soil's so polluted. I don't know about you, how much data that you've taken the time to collect, but take a look at what's happening in the Pacific Ocean over there by Fukushima. Go look at the radiation levels in all the cities across Europe. Go to the radiation graphics room that Patty Broussard put up. She provides all the data. It's all there. Okay, so you got to ask yourself, what's the matter with these beings? Don't they love this biosphere and love this planet and want to take care of it so they can enjoy it and they have a future timeline? No, they don't. They're dead. They're spiritually dead. They can't generate any light, which means they can't generate any love. So what do you expect? Exactly what you get, which is exactly all the data we collect. Put it up on a blackboard, it's all there. Put it up in the mirror, this is what happened. Well, what is the underlying causality? That's simple, just go observe. It's all there right in front of us every day. It's a program. I call it a self-termination program. Running in reverse. Instead of attracting more light and going faster, so you experience the rest of the universe by being able to go faster in higher hyperdimensional realms, you're going the other way. You're going in reverse. That's the collapse of the timeline. So anyway, I thought I'd share that because that's review. That's the review of the lesson. That's what I do. I tell the truth because I am what love is in living spirit. So I share what I know is true because I observe it, collect the data, and present the data. Here's the data. You don't believe me? Go get it for yourself. I did all the work. Hell, I spent 4 years in a motel room in Reno, Nevada, 16 hours a day with my laptop, just pouring through data after data after data, trying to get a pulse of the planet. How much are we losing? How much light are we losing? How many species are we losing? You know? So I could see what was happening to the timeline. So I realized, man, more than light's got to come in here. We got to raise the frequencies here. We got to fix this, man. So naturally, I went to Setchi, hooked up with Patty Broussard exactly when I was supposed to hook up with her, got all her data, put it all together, spun it through my light, and figured, okay, we got a lot of light coming in here, don't we? You better believe there's a lot of light here. So that means we're changing the equation. That means we're raising the harmonics. We're busting out of this stuff, which means we're moving in higher consciousness. That's a good thing. That means everybody's going to experience higher energy. More people will be in a higher state of happiness and joy. You know what I mean? And that's when healing will take place. We'll be able to dissolve all the lower stuff we've been hanging on to as a result of what we experienced, a lot of which is not only all the contamination, but the abuse that was going on here between all of us. We all experienced it here, right? So anyway, I'll leave you that for the evening. Have a great day. I love you all. And this is for all the firefighters, all the first responders, all the men and women that are over there on the fire line today. My heart goes out to all of you. Okay, you are in my meditative prayers. I give you light and love almost every day to keep you well, keep you safe, and help you get the energy that you need to realize we're going to get through this, you guys. God knows I did a lot of that work, and I know what it's like to hike up a hill when you're eating smoke like crazy and it's 100 degrees out and you're carrying 65 pounds of hose on your back up and down a hill all day long, and then you're doing it the next day after that, and the next day after that, and the next day after that, and you're getting burned out. So my heart and my love goes out to all you men and women that are doing this job. Thank you very much for being there.